Hey, folks, this is Rabble Rousing Rich Bergeron.
And take it complex.
All right. And we're going to interview on Independence Week Mr. International tonight, Shonie Carter. I know we talked to him years and years ago. It's been too long, so we're getting him back on the show. And Sure Dog has him at 52 and 32, so 84 fights. But I remember in the last interview, actually, well, not only do I remember, but I actually listened to it recently, and he said it was way more than that. And Sure Dog's actually, although it's the premier organization for recording fights, they have famously gotten a lot of fights wrong, or not included a lot of fights on fighters' careers. But we'll talk to him about all the different places that he's been, what got him that nickname, Mr. International, and all that stuff. And I guess we'll wait till next week to really do the in-depth breakdown of the last UFC and all the other stuff going on. We've got a bunch of other stuff going on this weekend. Don't really have a lot of MMA, but we do have an MMA fighter boxing, another MMA fighter, Jorge Masvidal versus Nate Diaz. Also, Nick Diaz is coming back against a pretty formidable opponent. I don't know how that's going to go, but we got a lot to talk about next week on that front. But let's get Shoney on the call.
Hello?
Shoney, there he is.
Talk to me. Who this?
This is Rich Bergeron from
Oh, Rick.
Fight
What's
News
happening?
Unlimited. How's it going?
I'm doing great. Forget an hour ahead.
Oh yeah, I usually send a reminder, but I was kind of scrambling today. I was a little hungover from
No way.
festivities yesterday.
All right.
Yeah. So we got
Yeah.
just audio.
Thank God.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, pull me your hair, Sonny.
Yeah.
You want to pull me your hair? Thank you. Please, my day. My word, my word.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Into my day. I even do it all of it.
yeah.
I go from rubbing to a joint, uh, and, enthusiastic friends and sitting on the train to go home with him and talk to him, even if he thought I was Tony Carter. To give him, and I'm with my future ex-wife, ex-girlfriend, and I told her that because she's my girlfriend, but when we get married, she won't be my girlfriend. So, basically, she told her, the guy trying to hold us on the train. When we get off the train, get on the bus, there's some particular attraction head, heroin head, starts harassing this little old school La Abuela Latina because the little shopping cart the old lady push
Yep.
bumps his toe. And that's the cart trying to shove her. Talking about things you're not doing that. Saying what you're doing today. No, 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 no. Not on my watch.
Yeah, actually, we once talked to Ken Shamrock the day he got in a road rage incident after a day at the water park.
This road race is going to be checkmated by my last son for February 15th of this year. This year. The day after Valentine's was no fun. Yeah.
All right. Well, we got some question for. I tried to come up with some stuff that we didn't talk about last time. Um, but I was just curious. What's it been like for you now as a trainer? How have you been able to shape the landscape of mixed martial arts these days?
Well, it's a strange thing because the guy that keeps forgetting
Mhm.
and from judo, boxing, kickboxing, karate, MMA, and the crazy part is I'm not in the MMA gym because I don't think people trust me. So I'm a corporate personal training manager or fitness director for
Oh,
Capital Fitness, also known as
yep.
I took over the kids' daycare and put a $15,000 that I magically acquired from a friend of mine who's a police officer, and he don't know it's gone. So he's a best friend of mine. And he had like 8 rolls of mat space sitting upstairs, all rolled up. You know, he's got his inventory, but we're leaving him at one. So, and I used to use it around. I'm confessing to you know, felonious behavior in the martial community.
Nice.
I'm rich to get to the like the rocket part.
Right.
Needless to say, I won't say George Tracy. My bad. I didn't mean to say officer. I didn't mean to say officer George Tracy. Didn't. Well, actually, Calvary Grappling. I didn't say that. Tell them Shonie thinks when you go by, you get a free training session.
All right.
Tell them that thing is one session free. I mean, that.
So where is
Go
that facility?
on these Plainfield Road, Countryside.
All right. What's
Hey, so
that's in Chicago?
I'm trying to manage your real estate, landscape, if you will, and export fitness 3439 West Belmont Avenue, 3239 West Belmont, Airport. And I'm teaching people that don't know none of this fight. And
Right.
free session with it. I guarantee you'll love it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm teaching position martial combat style, eliminator combat, and pressure, which is older than jujitsu. I teach that because I'm my fourth degree in that. Because I fought in that in Greece for college.
Now,
But
in your career, how many different like fighting styles did you like participate in professionally? 20 different? Like judo
yeah,
and like all the like the whole realm?
same style from Beijing, China.
Wow.
Did penetration in Athens, Greece, then jujitsu and karate and judo in Japan. Let's see where else. Boxing in America, England, called bare knuckle boxing in England, Greco-Roman Olympic wrestling in Budapest, Hungary, Austria, Germany. They have freestyle wrestling, Olympic wrestling as well, overseas. I came from shape. I didn't get girlfriend my neighbor. They just, you know, over there. So,
Yeah,
we
it's very
got
dangerous.
going good.
Dangerous places over there.
The street fight Chicago on the bus going down from England Airport. I rescued a young lady who was kidnapped off the bus February 15th.
Oh,
I
jeez.
feel February 10th. I rescued the bear and I rescued a guy from committing suicide on the Roosevelt and Wabash train elevator stop and he jumped on the track. Um, Nightclub barroom brawling all over Chicago. But it's me in Belfast, Ireland. Petrol fight in Belfast before Conor McGregor was stopped fucking his mom. So,
Nice.
so that's Russia. Played Russian, played snooker with a Russian Spetsnaz agent. I did an underground fight in Bulgaria. Let's see. Did some belly dancing in Egypt.
Mm.
And
What
then
was
I got around.
what was your favorite? Yeah. What was your favorite
Yeah,
promotion to fight for if you had to pick one?
When you do sake stock, so you put it back
Yeah.
and Japan, that's a lot.
That's awesome. Are
Yeah,
are you gonna write a book one of these days on all this stuff or?
crazy. I experienced it.
Yep.
And everybody that's out there listening, get a physical clearing out. I mean, to help me edit, I got chapters like when I prayed at the Wailing Wall and I walked in the vehicle of open Jerusalem. I mean, I've got I got pictures. It's
Yeah.
just a bear wrestling match in the playing pool in the cemetery in Russia while at Africa. But yeah, most of the pictures from video footage there in my underground fight what I used to do in a Latin nightclub in
Yeah.
Chicago while dancing salsa in between fights. And like I did 6 fights in one night, just in the ring. I put that on VHS,
That's awesome.
flash drive, and DVD.
I do
So,
know a Netflix promoter. I mean, a
yeah,
Netflix producer, I should say. I don't know if she's ever done anything on sports, but that would be a great Netflix documentary just on your own personal career.
and he broke up. Like,
I do know a Netflix producer, I said. So if you're thinking about documentary stuff, that would definitely be right up.
there's a guy working on it. He's trying to
Yeah.
get docu and
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and he has stuff on TV and YouTube and Hulu, Netflix, and things about funding. And I've been talking random people about it. Like, big check, from, I guess, that is a highlight reel.
Hmm.
And you know, the thing, the crazy part, one of the weirdest out of the blue moments, things that just happened in the last 48 hours
What's that?
to me. Award, Academy Award nominated after Tom contacted me and friend requested me. I accepted to make sure it was real. He had a check mark on his account.
Very cool.
And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, well, who's honor? And crazy because it's scoping the landscape around Chicago. He was actually funny. I'm actually the guy who actually got Daniel James
Mm.
started. I
Yeah.
mean, trainers, the Logan Quinn. You know what I mean? And
I've been through the airport there, but haven't really spent much time there in the city.
I actually remember when Taylor was first trying to get into MMA and started training. I remember refereeing one of Clay Guida's, if not his fight. I referee Clay Guida's. I referee his brother, Jim Guida.
Oh, wow, I didn't even know he had a brother.
Oh yeah, his name is Jim Guida.
Cool. Cool.
Guida.
Yeah, I grew
And
up around the Lazon brothers, being from Massachusetts, so I knew that Dan and Joe Lazon. I saw them a lot. But yeah, they'd be.
like,
Hmm. Yeah, so what's that been like for you, watching the sort of the evolution of MMA and especially the UFC, like from where you started to where they are now?
yeah, it's crazy because he had fight in UFC history to wear gloves. And I had over 270 fights before my first one, including getting indoctrinated. They wanted to gatekeeper me when I fought between you current UFC champion.
Yeah.
After I lost the very hometown season loss, I became with Congress over in Tokyo. and I did some fights there, and then before I got to the UFC, I knew who Anderson Silva was before America did. I knew about Fedor Emelianenko. I knew about guys that I about.
Nice.
And because I knew I would never get a single shot in the UFC.
Yep.
And that guy, I knew it was going to be a journeyman because man, those guys were never really trying to look out for me. They can make a phone call with the fight, like 15 to 20% of my head.
Mm.
And one of the biggest ass was a guy named Gary Cluck. He got in jail.
Yeah.
And I had another guy, a nice guy, but he wasn't that good. Thank you, Tommy. Then there was the infamous Monty Top.
Oh yeah.
Um,
We interviewed Monty when he just put out his book.
yeah, and then there was Phyllis Lee, mother of the 123 kid, and she was horrible. She just passed away. I said it and don't give a damn.
Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta be honest.
behind behind concrete, not giving up one.
Nice.
Popular ever been greedy like that.
So what do you think about the UFC today? How far it's come?
Man, it's amazing because guys are making more than 2 years salary in fight. $100 million to Connor when I was doing it first.
Yeah.
I had my own energy drink out and I was wearing suits. My first UFC, remember this. I'm the only guy to walk out to the UFC in a pasty on 3/4 length suit.
Yeah, it's
Now
really been
made a
lacking in
thousand
style.
500 to show, 500 to win.
Yeah.
When I fought to knock out, man. He ended up with 2 schools.
Yeah, that was an interesting one
And
because you faced off with him in the Ultimate Fighter, and then you got your revenge years later, in the actual UFC fight. So that must have been pretty amazing.
he ended that in Memphis. I knocked him out. He won by the city.
Yeah.
And crazy, that was the trilogy that never happened.
Oh, okay. So you won
Like,
the third fight, never got it.
people don't even know how to
Really?
I can't fight later.
Yeah, we talked to him years ago.
Yeah,
Again, when he was a firefighter. He does the he does the bare knuckle commentary with a guy we've interviewed twice, Sean Wheelock. He wrote a book with the founder there of UFC.
Speaking of fair, funny way to make fighters, look, what he does about wrestling, how to pop dicks and he goes they pick there. Somebody, fair knuckle, knockdown karate. And so I fought Jimmy Sweeney in England 3 weeks notice when he was a good big king for Tyson. And I'm like, guys, I want to give me a chance, fight bare knuckle. But I did it before you. 21 station, 20 consequence. I used to fight bare knuckle, knee gun karate. Ready?
Yeah.
Good luck. Here's Toronto in 28. I wore 2 lineman football cleats because the week of the fight, I did a jiu-jitsu tournament, and my elbow got dislocated and I wouldn't tap out. I fought in a jiu-jitsu tournament, then injured Toronto in UFC 28. The next thing after being injured Toronto, I got flown down the and fought in an 8-man bare knuckle karate. Down thing. 3 rounds of bare knuckle karate, 3 rounds of Muay Thai kickboxing, and then MMA. The round uh, tournament, the then 3 fights into the next game, going bare knuckle karate and kickboxing, going a 100 round fight the very evening in Miami, and then went on Monday. Went to work out Monday, and look at people bad motherfucker about because they do one fight in the UFC.
That puts it in
That's
perspective.
the first time.
Yeah, yeah. You ought to have 10 of them. How about the time you fought 6 guys? You talked about that last time.
Yeah, you know about that. Although we can convert it over to DVD. Like,
Eddie Hall, the big
and,
weightlifter, just did a fight where he knocked out 2 guys, and it was like all over the social media. But 6 guys, that's a challenge.
hey, I want in on the AFC.
Yeah, I could put a good word in for you.
I mean, trial,
There's Sean
fine,
Wheelock. It's
right? So,
I got all his information. I talk to him all the time on Facebook.
yeah, give me that
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Please, tell me to go ahead and work out for a month or two, and then come audition. Please.
Yeah, I haven't watched a lot of them, but boy, it's we actually interviewed Bobby Gunn when he was, I don't think he was really undefeated, but he was telling everybody he was like 80-0 in bare knuckle and a lot of
I am not beat.
yeah,
I've got scars on my
yeah,
face, 2 months with a heel, and I'm not going there to just do a fight to check.
right,
Try to hurt people.
yeah. It's an interesting sport. I mean, it's actually surprised me the way it's grown, and so many MMA fighters have crossed over to it lately. Because back in the day, it used to be more barbaric. Go ahead.
They make they make way more money on something that's not in life danger or career jeopardizing. There are no leg lock, double leg, headlock, or rear naked choke from bare knuckle box.
Right. A lot more body
This
shots
is
too,
not them.
because you don't want to break your hand.
Yeah, okay. Bring your pants and weapon your ass.
All right. Now, do you have a favorite fighter across all the combat sports that you love to watch whenever he fights or she fights?
You know, from all, I can't really say I have a, but I was just enthralled by the idea of being a martial artist, and being a martial artist competitor, and for every difficult I can make, like, go head on up with judo.
Yep.
So like, I think it's favorite behind jiu-jitsu. One of my favorites was Hugo Madera. So then there's, I think jiu-jitsu from so many Kevin, I love Kevin Irwin. This is Drysdale. He's brown belt for the jiu-jitsu and for Drysdale.
Right.
I mean, he's boxing. He's boxing. Jones Jr. Kickboxing is Benito. Then Tom Lee.
Shonie. He was one of our worst interviews, believe it or not. Back in the MySpace days, I got an interview with him, and it was all one word answers. It was horrible.
Yeah, for me, I'm quite anxious on the interview, but that's not the same track. But
Right?
found that
It's
my
good.
future ex-girlfriend been correcting me in ending brain, and she's like my life manager.
There you go.
And you know, been actually walking through bubblegum and not tripping, falling a crack,
Nice.
trip over a crack in the
Now, how did you?
I'm a survivor of extreme domestic abuse. But it was funny. Get out the truck. And I was walking in front of the truck, hit me with a Dodge Dakota. She took it again, knocked me into the saddle, the laundromat, and I almost spilled my drink.
Oh no.
And I was in a jingle heat. And, I think, you really that mad at me for hitting me with a 2005 my Ford Dodge Dakota? Amazing.
I had a buddy in high school. His girlfriend did that with an Impala in his own driveway. She hit him with the car on purpose. On
She was
purpose.
crazy. She said, car just jumped out of gear. Dakota. That car don't. She ran over people.
Oh yeah.
And she was a truck driver, so she can't even move furniture. And she can drive a truck.
Yeah.
And she's a country girl, So, I give her due. But, yeah.
So how did you earn the
As I'm
nickname
saying,
Mr. International? In case people want to know out there.
that's going, I'm going to tell you, okay, keeping it 100 out of the locker room. We're in the locker room. One of my girlfriends was spoke English as a second or third language. That's one reason. Two, I used to travel so damn much, get tired,
Yeah.
travel. And here, I did like 9 fights in a year. That brought home 7 belts in a calendar year. And, and Pedro Viana of the Charleston Gracie history thing, always a shout out to Pedro Viana, God rest his soul, and Brian Gasaway, and Dan Bolden, and Jenna Silva, and John Boyadra, and Tommy Matsuda. But Pedro Daniel Viano's original concentration screening team, it was fire. So I gave away a fight to Romania. Because I had been to Germany, like Iceland, Japan a bunch, Mexico, I drank tequila in Mexico, almost was there next to Cecil Jones. Came in migration, San Diego, and I flew a trip to Mexico. I flew into Mexico. You figure that out. Beneath the most black guy wearing a kilt snuck into Mexico.
You're in
And
a
we
kilt?
got into a fight on damn with a blind. Because
Yeah.
I bought a blue mat,
Yeah.
a Lucha Libre ball.
Oh yeah.
I
There
got
are some.
stories for this. So, what's my favorite? You know, the different style. And that's what we call addicted. So they tried to fight this May in Illinois, in the athletic commission. That I was inactive for too many years. And I'm like, Mike Tyson get fight, you can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, right,
That whole
you get
thing. I don't
out.
know. It's very suspect to me because Jake Paul has, traditionally been pretty friendly with Mike over the years, and it seems more of a gimmick than reality to me.
I'm
Yeah.
laughing, guys. Like that, I ain't never seen. I know. You saw that footage of him with the whole centric on his chest and everything.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, that ain't regular training. trying to turn him into a 35-year-old again.
He is in
And
pretty
I'm
good
like,
shape. Yeah.
still this fat white guy flies down like 70 per year in December. And there's rabbits that actually can lay chicken eggs.
Yeah.
But I'm like, the white don't feel it, right?
Right. Yeah.
So it'll show up in a year's time.
Yeah. That was
So,
that was kind of, to me. I think they had a gentleman's agreement. They weren't going to try to knock each other out. Talk about a lot of body shots. There was a lot of body shots in that fight. Yeah. Yeah. I think that the 2 minute rounds were the key too. Like, can't do much in 2 minutes. Mhm. Yeah. I met him once in Vegas, and he was very humble. Like, he didn't want to even tell anybody that he was good at boxing. It's just like, I can't beat anybody. He said it was crazy. He had changed so much. Like, I remember there was a documentary on him, and they had all his belts on the table, and the interviewee was, the person interviewing him was asking him about his career, and he's like, "Oh, that all means nothing to me." He got to a point in his career where he didn't even really seem proud of what he'd done. And now he's just kind of coming back, kind of trying to put that final stamp on his career with this Jake Paul fight. But I just don't know how serious it really is. It seems like with Jake Paul's history, there's probably clauses in the contract that it's going to be a lot less exciting. Yeah, yeah. Well, it was funny when I was just watching a clip of the press conference, and Tyson's like, "Oh, he's talking about knocking me out. He couldn't even knock out uh the Nate Diaz. He's 40 pounds." Mike says, uh, and the Stockton shot, not really a knockout punch.
yeah, get rid of
Yeah,
them. Well, I told people, I said, make striking lean and fat
right.
and like how that when I am trying to be many questions, we always certain minimal expenses and so like I'm in payment.
Right.
They were home for every 3 weeks. And people don't even notice. No one said, I time thing. This is a very light food fish.
Oh yeah.
So they don't like like I can say stuff that were meant to be. I can tell you, I remember when particular to being white, they went to Chicago. They pulled him up in a limousine from Chicago where he met when he first met the woman named Rick Front,
Hmm.
chatting with me. He said, "You don't think him. He didn't give me the entitlement. I don't even make that American. They don't want it. So what's your career?" Mhm. And so cool because I'm like, "Hey, you're the person that takes my My second look.
Henry.
Planes already. It's for
Yeah.
I think he ain't gonna punch the break if he had a He's gonna be a hometown decision. That what happened? Exactly.
I got a funny story about Dana
Well,
White for you. Yeah.
once they kicked him, he looked like I remember watching that.
Mask. Yeah. That's hilarious.
They tried the action thing is
Shit. Yeah,
the
she was his mom, right?
man,
Oh,
the
yeah.
man.
I
That's
remember
yeah, the man.
Yeah, I
The
remember
little kid looked like
that.
5 punches in the action party. That kid
Awesome.
literally being
Yeah.
and I was able to actually he scored one takedown,
Yep.
and I don't always laugh. How things go. Well, I remember fighting a guy who fought Anthony McPhee and he held me down with chains with, with no use of Vaseline. I fought Anthony McPhee
Jeez.
in Oklahoma.
Yep.
Literally. He started to fight, get down, punched him out, kicking him. Even the fight on the valley, they raised his hand with unanimous decision. Neck in the thing.
Mm.
Five levels of fuck is going on. And they were like, Shonie, just relax. We'll pay you like you want.
Yeah.
The thing about paying me, like, y'all ain't paying me shit.
Yeah.
It's like the landscape of what goes on versus what it was back in the day. I mean, you can go on and, like, the only guy to have thrown Pat Military in his in training or in his competitive career. But Pat Military, when I fought him in a baseball diamond in a boxing ring in his hometown, and lost unanimously. Once to knock the
Mm-hmm.
whole fight. He threw one head kick. It landed, but that don't mean you win
Mm-hmm.
because the fight went to
Yeah.
15-minute round and a 10-minute round.
You
So
mentioned Dana White. I don't know if you knew this, but I got a website called ZionsSucks.com, and it's the inside story of how Zions was basically run by a con artist, and Dana White worked with him because his wife went the founder of Zions's wife went to high school with Dana White, and so that's how this guy got his in. And then Dana White, when the Ultimate Fighter first started, got the commercials for free. Like anybody wanted a commercial, like he could give them away for free to people because they owned that space. They had to buy the space to get the show and do the production and everything. They still do it. So anyway, this guy Russell Pike that started Zions went to his investors and said, "Hey, we got to pay for all these Zions commercials," and they never had to pay for them. So they just split the money. This guy Russell Pike and Dana White. And then years later, I had interviewed Dana White's mother. And God rest her soul, she recently died. But she told me that Dana White's mother-in-law was a Chicago mobster. So I ended up looking it up, and turns out not only was he a Chicago mobster, he was involved in a skimming operation in Vegas with the Fertitas back in the 70s that the movie Casino is based on. So you watch that movie Casino again, and that's the operation that Bobby's the one who came out of the casino with the bag of money for the mob. And he, yeah, crazy. Like that's just the level of history that people have no idea. You know, they talk about the Fertitas maybe being connected, but nope, it wasn't just the Fertitas. Dana was too. Oh, really? Yep.
We
Yeah.
drink and you know we
Yeah. They spent $57 million in marketing that company in 1 year. And I talked to the lawyer that worked with them, and he said, "Oh, UFC fighters were calling us off the hook. They all wanted to do stuff for us, and, because we were just given so much money back then." Right? Well, we got a psychic on the line. I didn't really introduce him properly, but we got psychic Tom Paget with us. He's actually seen you fight live.
yeah, to the King of the King in Indiana back in November 2004. And I was telling Rich, he fought, I don't know if he was love Big Fit, you remember? And it's in my memory, you initially won that fight. Some kind of something one or something. Okay. Yeah, I remember that fight. But he was like Floyd Grayson, American Brazilian. And you handled that ground game no problem. And you always trying points are so relaxed. He didn't submit you. And the last, like, do you remember after the fight, he tried to pull the fall around, the whole thing in paper, only two of them. And you think for them, with his mind, reaches the next skill. It gives me one pound. So remember that. Oh, but damn, and that I was not contracted to. Just like my one in each legislation. Shonie, you can't do that. I'm like,
Correct.
on contract, I don't mind third round. Clinton, you can compete. My team, like, yeah, it, can take away.
That's horrible.
Crazy thing. Even that the twin being engaged with Fernando Vasconcelos in New Mexico. Even Eddie was the shit. Making a nice sort of fight. Like, sidekick Fernando Vasconcelos in the mouth. Around him. Threw him around like a flag dog.
Right. Psychic Tom told me that your favorite place to fight.
The King and Cake. If you do not have a laptop, phone,
Yeah.
with me. You can check. I promise you. I remember it was 2 minutes.
Yeah, I'm looking at your record, and one thing that I was very impressed by was that, I mean, I know Sherdog doesn't have every fight, but only only three submission losses that they have recorded on all of those fights. What's the secret to that? How did you avoid so many submissions?
Everybody was blind into it. And coming people carry their flag on Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. They had the King Cristal made of temper steel mentality. Into this. They mentioned so much things. And think that they can't be beaten and all that. Like, the fourth, fifth, sixth generation. One, you ain't never one. You don't know how to talk about getting punched in the mouth. From the kicking the leg around, but punch in the stomach. Keep hitting, move back with 2 strikes. With two strikes. If I do something to you, you sit in the seat as a fan. From this stuff, you get your home. Get your home. Get touch again.
Awesome.
Women at the beach on the internet were booking and then back away. The change of whole demographic.
Yep. Nice. Now I remember the last show you told us your favorite city to fight in was St. Petersburg. Still true?
Petrol, I mean, Tartarian going with not one damn thing. One paper architecture for design. It's very Tartarian. Oh, yeah. Big. You know what a normal trick is? Have you heard the story?
No, no, never heard the term. Yeah.
Oh, raping, pyro eating.
Yeah.
It's in the Hermitage League.
Ah.
Yes, but the
Wow.
pyramid, the sphinx is nothing. It goes into it.
I have heard that. Yeah, I have
You know,
heard that.
when it turned back, then that, then it turned back on when I came out. Just saying. Yeah,
Yeah, I
people
watch
try to
that
make it.
Ancient Alien show all the time, and they talk about how the pyramids might have been a power source back in the day.
Now,
The Egyptians. Yeah.
when I was maybe my children, my yeah, I did the thing in line. Before that, promise you, I had to outrun the Egyptian police because I created a national religious monument and doing a photo shoot on the pyramid. Well, I wish we had a video of that. Man, put it like this. I'm still skeptical about going back to Egypt, even though a friend of mine, especially Kelvin Caldwell, was going back to that for Egypt. I think he said next year, and he invited me. I promise you, I'm gonna have every steroid in my body and performance enhancing drugs in me. I'm gonna look like Thanos, look like Colossus, and Rick James. All that. I'm gonna, and I'm gonna be the baddest man in the business in Egypt. When I go there, I'm not gonna wear my coat, but it will be. You know, when I get there, do that shit in Egypt, this hot pink striped suit, you know, Shonie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lean on a sink or a column. They take my king of the king. The shiniest light is not like it.
Nice.
I'm about 28 that nobody apparently knows about, even though I won a King of the Cage welterweight world title, defeating Jason Black when he was 19-0.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I can go on and on with it. That's really ridiculous. Cannon called me. Yeah,
Mhm.
let's see the movie, damn it.
Yeah. So, how do people find you out there? If, anybody wants to pitch you on an
Yeah,
idea, what's your
yeah.
social media tags and all that?
Here's the easy one, the easy thing to find me. You ready?
Yeah.
312-978-0782.
Oh,
Let's
there you
go.
go.
Shonie Carter at Yahoo. I'm Mr. International, Mr. underscore International underscore Shonie underscore Carter. Instagram. I have two Instagrams. Shonie Carter 9 and Mr. The long ass one. Facebook. There are people who copyrighted me, but if you mention this, this good interview and you got the phone up to text me, you got to call me first. Promise. Promise. Text me first. And send me a photo or video message that is really you. Because people always trying to fake me out and try to rob me. Because my girlfriend told me, well, excuse me, wrong term. His ex-girlfriend told me about the Nigerians and the Russians
Oh
and
man,
all these other people who scam us.
you won the lottery.
So, so just message me. Just text message me. Hit me up on a major platform. Or you could just come to Chicago, catch me at Apex House of Grappling. You catch me at 3239 West Belmont at the Belmont Express Red Sport. Oh, Chicago MMA 14 or 1521 1428 North Halstead. San Antonio Boxing is 2600 West 35th. I think where else I am. Foundation Jiu Jitsu 2135 West 21st Place in Pilsen. All in Chicago. I'm everywhere.
Awesome.
Which one am I? Were you moving over there? Yes, sir. Just give me a call. I'll tell you where I'm at.
All right. Yeah.
Give me a text.
Okay. Well,
Inappropriate with the time. I
I'm
want
I'm
everybody to be
serious about
perfectly
putting in a.
inappropriate the time zone.
Yeah.
So remember, I'm in the Midwest region.
Yeah.
So if you text me at 5 in the morning, it is perfectly okay.
Okay.
I don't care.
I'm serious.
Cool.
I'm serious about forwarding your request to put to the bare knuckle folks too. I will make that happen.
Yeah, please. I'm trying to do movies with Robert Parham and Eddie Boone and Hall of Famer Robert Bowman and Alan Goldberg, the Action Martial Arts Hall of Fame. I'll be there doing a seminar in January. Going to Romania in October to referee the World Championship in penetration gladiatorial combat. So for all my Romanian affiliates,
Hmm.
let me know what's up. Seriously, take this interview to ring. We can't stand Dan right now. There's for man. Come on now. Now. Here. Anybody want to learn? Growing.
All right. Yeah.
Hey, grandchild. The younger daughter, years old, 15 and 22. When Lonnie is 6, Thea is 5. One of them granddaughter, a 6-year-old daughter.
that's, that's an accomplishment.
Get to wear my 22-year-old things and history.
There you go. Nice.
Spring. Wear my trademark.
Nice.
Save my 18-year-old son have my shiny shoes to wear to prom.
Hmm. Excellent.
And literally, yeah, I just laughed about all the school stuff. You know, I mean, supposed to fight in me. And I'm going to keep fighting for the right to be dad for Leilani on the. And if anybody ever wants to help me out with that, call me in perfectly inappropriate hours. Because I very rarely sleep, as my future ex girlfriend will tell you. We'll get up and start making lunch, and I will start cleaning the house late at night for no damn reason.
All right. Well, I don't know
You know,
about
and
family court, but I've done a lot of stuff representing myself in court, so I could definitely give you some tips.
trying to learn.
I could send you my book on representing yourself in court. That might help a little bit, and it could certainly put the word out, through social
I
media.
will march to Tripoli.
Yeah, actually, I've done a lot of work in that space. I got a website called Plan B Justice because the courts, in particular the family courts, are very biased against males, and it's everywhere you go. Yeah.
If I were to give you the character and background of Charles, be comparatively and know what I am. Wait, make 28 brain second.
Yep.
Sure, the Tripoli, because I'm a U.S. Marine Corps veteran. And when I tell people, like shaking hands with Barack Obama, Trump, mayoral candidate, well, being room with Navy things, I've been in hands reach of two Illinois governors. I'm that the person that I've been able to
Yeah.
when I politics and children. I used to be the trainer for the former Chicago born and raised Jim Sanders. Sanders passed away. In the absolute common space as a father, I have risked my life to be them.
Mhm.
They even told my sister and my youngest son's prom date why I cried at prom. Well, black folks and folks, they make a big deal about prom. Prom thing. Uh, you know, they got to ask the last baby that made life. And why are you crying? Because I have risked my life. I have almost died to see this moment. And people didn't think I was, even my sister, they were like, shut up, you exaggerate. You ain't almost died. So I was in the U.S. Marines, and everybody was, father of the girl was like, thank you for your service. Like, hey, you up.
Mhm.
I said, let me explain to you. And they gave me to shoot a 15,000 pound cannon with explosive artillery shells, 30 miles to kill whatever was in 3 miles of the intended target. I said, I've been bullets go past me. I've walked for a day. I've jumped onto the track with a live train to protect a man from committing suicide. I rescued a young Latina from getting kidnapped off of a northbound bus in Chicago. I said, I flipped the truck over, wanted to do private lessons, paid for child support for my kids. I said, I can go on and on. I said, I risked my life going to fighting the good fight. And they were like, I said, yeah, I know it's a lot. All right, love you guys. Good. Have a fun time in prom.
Mhm.
See you later. And I walked off.
Yep.
And a week later, he graduated from high school. And even my sister made a little smart little flick lip ass comment. Why are you late? I said, because I know you're not going to start on time. So he gave a shit. And so then when we got there, he's like, you didn't cry? You ain't crying now? I said, no. I said, no, I'm not crying. He was like, well, you cry. I said, I'm not crying because he did his job. He graduated high school. He said, job well done, son. Job well done. I shook his hand. And from then you get no more summer break for the rest of your damn life. I said, ain't that fucked up? I said that right at graduation. That's
Yep.
fucked up, ain't it? You were always at work. See you at the gym on Monday.
That's reality. That's
Yeah,
reality.
and I'm like,
Yeah. It's tough to take a year off these days, like some kids do, but they still do it.
no, you know, I'm pushing cars, shoveling snow, lifting the weight from the shelf. I'm like, why should you take a break?
Yep.
And literally, because over the years, I didn't get a chance to coming up in the business. We didn't have a MMA variety, all these guys, like these legendary instructors. And these famous people, they came from famous gyms. I didn't. I don't feel no certain way about it. I'm not jealous. They all made more money than me. With the backdoor bonuses. You got to know there were backdoor bonuses.
Oh yeah, they used to call them
Oh,
locker room bonuses uh, in the UFC. I remember because Randy Couture, actually, he was involved in the big lawsuit against the UFC back in the day, and I'll never forget it because I was in a lawsuit against the Fertitas at the time due to the bankruptcy of Zions, and they had sued me for 25 million. So I was just defending myself, and it made the news. It made the circuit, and Mark Cuban at the time was doing HD net fights. He's not doing any of that anymore.
Cuban people ain't
Yeah, and I had actually sent Mark Cuban an email and asked him about, what's the legality that of the UFC having owning their own sponsor when they basically took over Zions. And he said, no, it happens all the time in business. It happens more than you think. And he actually admitted to following my lawsuit, which was crazy because he was fighting for Randy Couture's rights, so they could do the Couture versus Fedor fight. And that never happened because the UFC was so stingy and they fought so hard for that. But what did Mark Cuban do? Instead of fighting, he ended up buying the UFC's debt. So so he invested in them instead of keeping up the fight. That's crazy.
for real crazy. I'm in the YouTube video.
Yeah,
I'm really gonna
yeah.
it's like a
So you weren't involved in the class action suit at all?
I never got a chance to be in.
Oh, yeah, because
So,
that's wild. Because
what? That changed my life.
yeah, yeah. I know the lawyer. I know one of the main lawyers, Rob Mazy. I've talked with him a lot on Facebook. So, mhm, yeah.
Shonie from the time. Make such a mistake. She's you can see me on highway. Pay me as well.
Yeah, it's sad.
Don't make sure.
It's sad in general, if you look back at the history of combat sports and how many fighters have been basically taken advantage of, and
My God.
oh, it's just so disheartening because that's like the one sport where you really literally risk your life to participate in. Yeah,
I'm again free. Please. And no one, 312. From two. You know Shonie Turner and Gmail.
yeah.
Inappropriately.
All right. Well, it's been awesome catching up with you. And any final thoughts before we let you go for the night?
Well, final teacher decided to do that personal training.
All right.
Please call me. I'm going to women. So anyway,
Yeah,
we're
right.
the Lord St. Clair. Young St. Clair, and you might email her, email me, okay? And we will get you ready inside of 6 months,
Mhm.
all right? And for those lawyers, they want to, you want to go by, just pick up, go get sued. God willing, may. It's going to even work out in a health plan. Goodbye. Taking that West Belmont in Chicago, and I will set you up with a training session. You'll be ready to buy more. Yeah. Publishers, all your publishers, editor, hit me up. We got a documentary coming out. We won't do a biography. We finally on the shelves, right?
All right.
Cuban, Cuban,
Jeff
Jeff Bezos.
Bezos. Yeah. Amazon Prime. Yeah,
Um,
he does lots of documentaries.
Cuban, and
Yeah. Oh yeah. Zuckerberg. Elon owns Twitter. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, them two are supposed to fight, right? Forgot about that. Forgot about that. All right. Well, it's been great talking to you. Awesome catching up and entertaining as always. We definitely appreciate it. We will be in touch on both the bare knuckle thing and the lawyer thing. We'll try to help you out.
Yeah, please do, 'cause I'm waiting for
Yep.
you. I mean, come on, like they're not big, you know,
Mhm.
big deal.
Yeah. Well, they did just, they did just have the Rock. The, the Rock just had started a movie about the Smashing Machine documentary. You remember that?
Yeah,
Yeah, he got injured his first friggin' week of filming. He got a
don't
big
worry.
bruise
I
on
got
his
some
elbow.
protein I can some
Yeah, yeah, he needs some training.
and
And
then hey,
he should have hit you up before he
and
started
there.
filming. All right. Well, awesome. It's awesome chat, and you have a good night and enjoy your chicken.
You know, right.
Awesome.
Hey, amateur custody.
Yeah.
I think they're a natural.
Hello.
I am so wanting to do that. Never heard
Yeah.
of coming. Man, and it's very similar, you know, from a little bit of fighting and my little bit of stand up. Stage stand up on the stage. Why they call it punchline. You
Yeah.
know?
Exactly.
Because that's really getting your own freaking knowledge.
Hmm.
All right, right, and I one thing. But, you know, you watch good fighters and they have the, the same thing. You got to have a team. Can't go out there and really set it up. They have that right timing and then look for it. You have to tell just from talking to you. I mean, it's fine, have it tonight. 5 minutes, and then all of a sudden, see how it goes. No, I won't do it. I've been wanting to do it anyway. Somebody call me 312-978. I'll for you. Okay. Name it to me. Let them start with it being up.
All right. Awesome stuff.
All right.
All right, Shoney. You have a good night. Great
Okay.
talking with you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. So there we have it. Mr. International. Boy, now I get some work to do. Gotta hook him up with a lawyer. Gotta hook him up with a fight. Great stuff.
That's entertaining.
Yeah. Oh man.
That's a one entertaining human being, and I think it's just one joking. It's just natural, right? So we,
Yeah.
you know, some guys have, you know, like you remember when we had Antonio Tarver on this. That's really funny.
Yep.
I don't think they mean, sometimes don't even mean things. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I remember years ago I wanted to put out a book of just quotes from some of the interviews we've done. Just famous quotes from combat sports in general. I never followed through on it, but yeah, some of the things the people have joked about have been pretty funny. Like Michael Moore when he was talking about the George Foreman fight, and he said, "I was just a few minutes away from it being the Michael Moore grill instead of the George Foreman grill."
Yeah.
That's good. And him talking about St. Petersburg. The last time we had him on, he was going on about the women over there, but obviously having his girlfriend in the room this time probably wouldn't have made that kosher, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's got so many stories, and I think that's a better documentary than the Smashing Machine, especially if he's got all that old footage. I mean, that's a gold mine.
Yeah, yeah. Some long in
Yeah,
trainer and all these international.
yep.
Um, yeah, this might be one.
Hmm. Well, it's a full interview, all right. So I guess until next week, we're calling it a night here, and we'll have all the recaps and previews of the events then. So many different stories out there. You didn't even touch on Khabib's situation. You talk about Russia and St. Petersburg. He's up in Dagestan, but there's a couple stories revolving around him. One of the terrorists in the recent Dagestani attack there was working out at his gym, so we got to talk about that. And then Khabib is supposedly hiding out now in Abu Dhabi because the Russians are trying to get all his money for back taxes. So,
Um,
so many different stories, but tonight was
yep,
all
yeah,
about the interview.
maybe Khabib's going to have to come back.
Yeah,
Again.
yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I think after his father died, he just committed to never fighting again. But you never know.
Well,
I'm sure.
extenuating circumstances, and I'm sure his dad would understand.
Yeah,
But anything about it? Do you want to comment about it? You know, he didn't hear about it in his gym, but how would he know?
yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not blaming him. I don't think anybody's really blaming him. But it's just kind of crazy that connection is there. Um, and that I think he was captured. There was a couple guys that were captured, and he was one of them. That's how they know he was with the gym. But it's not like the gym is training terrorists. I'm not making that allegation. But yeah, it's just a lot of bad shit happening all at once over there for poor Khabib. He's over there in the UAE now, so I know they got money over there. They'll probably find something for him to do. Anyway, that's all for us, and thanks for getting on the call with us here tonight. And we'll definitely keep in touch with Shonie. And I just saw Tony posting about his meet and greet with Kurt Angle in full costume. So that's something he'll probably talk a lot about next week too. But a good excuse to miss the show tonight, especially if he gets us an interview. I saw Kurt Angle in that movie The Warrior when I was out in Vegas. They actually let me do the screening for free because of the website. So he played a UFC fighter, but never actually went over to MMA, as far as I know, in real life. All right, Tom. You have a good night now.
Wait,
Yes, sir. Adios.